So welcome to Behind the Bar podcast. We want to bring as much value to people as possible, from the coaching team here with us in RT Fitness and Barbell Club, our clients and other personal trainers across the North East. So today we have Anth. This is the first time I've actually met you. Obviously you've just started Sunderland. Tell us who you are, why your job switches lately, and tell us who you are.
Yeah, good to meet you.
I know. There we are.
So Anth Stubbs, just joined the squad, mate, by the Barbell Club at Sunderland, so enjoying that at the minute. Recently, as you say, just made the switch, working sparking full time, working offshore. Just absolutely fed up with it. All I was doing was training offshore as much as I could, training lads on the rig. I was like, I need to just do this full time. You know what I mean? Being away from the kids and all that jazz, I thought, you know what, let's just dive in. Both feet, let's get into it.
I mean, it came at a random time, didn't it? I suppose, right. Didn't it? I mean, if you'd still had the job, do you think you'd still be there? Like, if it had still stayed on?
No, I doubt it. My head was mashed. I was just like, all I could think about, right, was training, right? For a long time, that's all I think about was training, sorting my food out and that. And then, even when I was on the job, and you need to be switched on an oil rig, and I'm like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing, apart from, right, what am I going to do in the gym later?
Yeah.
So, I was like, now's the time to switch.
It was, I mean, it's sort of clearly your passion, and I properly relate to you there, because when I used to work in the factory, like, all I was doing when I was working in the factory, I had a fucking headphone in, listening to podcasts all on training, nutrition, boom, 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 what am I doing, planning stuff out and stuff like that. But you were training, were you doing personal training, like, before? I'm sure you said you were doing a COVID-y time. Were you doing it around then, or?
Aye, so around about COVID, that was when everyone was getting furloughed, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I got furloughed from my job, and I was like, right, rather than sitting in the house, that's when I went through my PT stuff. Like online,
right, yeah.
The online learning and all that jazz, and then the gym's opened back up, done my assessment in the gym. I was like, right, let's see if I can make some money this way before I can go back sparking. That was when Ultraflex was on the scene. So I joined there, and they had a good little deal where your client paid you give them a $5.
Yeah.
And that was it, happy days. So that was how it started, and I was like, right, I could get good at this.
But then, I mean, from probably every personal trainer, was it the case of, shit, I didn't realise I had to market so hard? Like, we've just talked about, obviously, the content side of things before this, but it's like, was that sort of the case then, or what was it with then?
Aye, so you quickly realise, like, it's not as easy as you think in the marketing, the content and that. You're like, you think you can just put a few posts out and that, and people just kind of come train with you, and you're like,
if you build it, they will come.
Aye. And it's that's not the case. You've got to really work at it, and all of a sudden you think like, oh shit, I'm not getting enough people through the door yet. Panic mode sets in. And you realise, like, I'm gonna have to go back sparking here and bring in the bread. But I think you got to be persistent, consistency, and hopefully you'll get there. You know.
I mean, I think Joe said to us the other day, says, like, you, because I said about content-wise the other day, actually, I says, like, Anth is just going all in at the minute. And he says to me that you just literally go home, treat it as like a 9-to-5 job, and like you're just working on the marketing side of things.
Aye, he'd be right. Basically, I like it that it starts early, that barbell, because I can get in, get that done early, right? And then I've got like most of the day to like plan content, film it, edit and all that stuff. Think of topics, start planning your week and think, right, I'll have me scran here, and I'll video this here, right? And I'll write these emails. So it's just full time, like we were just saying there. It's a full time job, this content stuff.
Yeah. I suppose people, like, say from a PT perspective, they'll only say that 1 hour of personal training, like, and from the outside world, they'll think, oh, you're just shouting at somebody. But like, I always say to the coaches and everything, behind every single 1 hour of like even a session what we put on, there's an hour work behind it. And the same with PT sessions. Like, I don't know what you think about that.
Definitely, I mean, even like on a morning before, on my way, if I'm having my coffee on the way to the barbell, I'm thinking, right, I need to when you write the board out, you need to get set up. You got to think, right, who's lifting the lightest weights so I can organise the weights so we're not messing about and everything's set up. Who's coming on after that? So you got to prepare as well, like for the session. Do you know what I mean? Like who's coming in? Have they got any injuries? Can they do this exercise? So you got to be aware of what's happening. You know.
Yeah, and it's the same as, I mean, it's probably most one because behind the scenes you're designing their program, you're doing their program, you're doing the nutrition behind the scene, and I mean, I don't know if people still do it where they just get, say, one a week, but it's like that one a week, you're doing a few hours behind this, like you're working with them 2 hours behind the scene, but still only, say, charging them for that 1 hour as well, which people don't, I'm probably going a bit off topic. People probably don't fucking appreciate that part, you know what I mean?
Aye. Exactly. They just say, as you say, or they just say for that hour in the gym, counting reps or whatever. But there's a lot of thought has to go into that. To be able to, like, and even just how you conduct yourself in that session. You know what I mean? You've got to be prepared. You got to dress smart and that. You got to look, you got to play the part, haven't you? Yeah.
And I mean, where you listen to Alex's podcast, you've got to adapt. You've got to adapt to so many different people as well.
100%. I know exactly what he was saying. He was talking about Deb and that, and I've got the first impression I got was the same as what Alex was saying. Yeah, I've got to adapt to different people, different personalities. So, 100%.
Sound. So this one, like, who do you like to help, and why do you like to help them? Like, who do you specifically like to help, and why?
As in a certain type of person,
like your client, like it's yeah.
People say you need to have a niche and all this and focus on certain people, but I would say just someone who generally wants to better themselves. Right? You could be like, you might have to have a common interest, but as long as you can relate to each other slightly, and just say, right, if you've got a goal and I can help you achieve that goal, I think they've got to like have the determination, if you can say it, and the desire, right? And then you can, right, I'm willing to help you. You know if someone's a waster or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say a specific type of person, really, as long as you've got a goal and you're ready to achieve it.
I totally agree with you on that because, like on my, so when we started the online world, I put on like the bio was, what was it? Busy driven people or something like that. Was it busy driven people? Busy driven professionals or something like that. And my messaging wasn't really there. And it's like, because where people tell you to niche down, and I've worked with every fucking day of people for 12 years. So like, why would it be any different? So obviously I've changed that since. And I work with just normal people because that's what I like. And yes, it might be the broader audience of people, but I like working with them. I wouldn't want to work with like a top athlete or anything like that because they'd zap all my time and energy and I'd only be able to help that one person. Do you get us?
Definitely. Makes total sense. Like, why would you want to be so specific when people are just people in general anyway?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you want to like be really narrow and say, I want to work with doctors who want to lose weight. Like, what sort of crack is that? You need to be able to relate and just say, right, if someone wants to try and lose some weight, I reckon I can help you do that.
Yeah.
So why does it need to be a specific person in a specific like industry? Do you know what I mean? So they can charge more. That's the thing. If you're only working with doctors who are for time and stuff like that, you can say, right, it's going to be $1,000 a month. Exactly.
That's the whole point of Nation Down. But I think from all of us, like I know you've obviously just been coaching with Joe and Ben and all the rest of it. Do you think it's the northerner in us that we just like to train the everyday person rather than these other people?
It could be.
Could be.
It could be, aye. I think
we just like to have a laugh, didn't we?
Exactly. I was just going to say, we just like to have a laugh and we like people in general.
Yeah.
I think that's just the way it is.
Yeah. I don't think you should niche down. If you look at actually the biggest people in the fitness space at the minute who are helping probably the most people, say James Smith, what's the Irish lad called again? Sean
Casey.
Yeah, Sean Casey. And I mean the other local lad, RH Fitness, like they work with general pop and look at how many people they are actually helping. I don't know if you agree with or disagree with any of them, but do you know what I mean? It's like they work with General Pop.
I think that's probably the way to go, isn't it? I think I keep saying relate. As long as you can, like, you're targeting somebody who's similar to you. You've got similar crack, similar personality. Yeah. That's who you want to work with.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So you could be a doctor, you could be an electrician, you could be a policeman. All these different people come into the gym, but you all get on.
Yeah.
You've got the same kind of crack, same personality.
I actually trained a doctor before, and I didn't like training him. He specifically wanted 5:30 in the morning for a 1-to-1. So he was doing 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 5:30 in the morning, I'd open the gym. So I did actually have the Durham gym then. So I was going in half an hour early just to coach him. And he would turn up 1 out of 3 every time. I'd be getting charged for it. Like I always put the clampers down on that. But it was just draining. Like he didn't really want to be there. He knew he needed to do a bit, and the crack wasn't good. And I was turning up half an hour early, and there was no apologies. And now he just thought, I'm paying. If I turn up, I turn up. If I don't, I don't. I'm not bothered. The money doesn't care to us.
Aye. What can you say about that?
I know.
Well, exactly. Just draining energy. That's not what you want, is it? Nah. You need to be able to enjoy what you're doing. The people you're working with, get on with them, have a laugh, have a bit of crack. Doesn't it? I think it shouldn't feel like work when you're in this industry.
Yeah.
Because you're passionate about it. You didn't want to be coming in, dreading it. I didn't want to work with him today. Opening up early morning, 5 o'clock, and dreading it.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. So, I mean, we got introduced from Luke, obviously Coach Durham, but also fucking now brilliant photographer. We've seen him grow along the way. I'm actually really proud of how far he's went. You were doing your photo shoot. Like, how was that journey and the lessons you've learned on that cut? And was it like your biggest cut as well, like what you've done?
So that was the biggest and most like efficient cut, I would say. We've all tried it in the past when you're younger and that. And
a little bit of diet, yeah.
I'm trying to diet and getting older, that sort of pattern. But this was like, I had a purpose and I was like, I'm going to do this cut the best I can to help grow the business and show like I can walk the walk and I'm not...
Social proof.
Bit of social proof, right? I'm not just telling people, right, go and do this, do that, and I haven't got any proof that I've done it. So I was like, right, that's the goal. Right,
and what have you learned?
You've got to get hungry, first and foremost. You're going to be tired, you're going to be hungry, right? You need to work hard, you need to do steps. Steps is massive. You need to track your food, you need to be consistent, and you need to have rest days as well. You need to remember the rest is important because that's when you're going to grow and recover. So people who think they have to train every day, all day, that's not going to work.
So how many times a week were you training on that cut?
So it was 5 training sessions a week, 2 rest days. Take them as and when you needed them. Or if you needed an extra one, take an extra one. But really it was 5 sessions covering all the body parts twice roughly. Yeah.
And how long was it over?
16 weeks. 16 weeks, mate. On and offshore as well. I was working night shift. I was training at 1 in the morning. Doing a 12-hour night shift, eating food when they served it, what they cooked. So when you have to like track your food, you have to get really good at eyeballing what's on your plate and understanding what's going in essentially. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
So what was like? I want to know the process. So what was the? I mean, that's tough. By the way, having to work offshore, doing your 12-hour shifts, and then just getting fed whatever they feed you. I mean, do you know what the calories were like throughout the process as well? Like, how did that go? Because I'm sure I seen something where you said like you had 1,700 or something one day, or how the fuck?
It went lower than that. It went low, so it started off at 2,500.
Right.
Week 1, right? And I was like, this is going to be tough from the start. got down to 16 weeks, mate, and I was down to 1,400.
Right. Okay. How the fuck did you fill out a day with 1,400 calories? And why?
I was just following the protocol from my coach that I got.
Right.
So this coach, like, he's well experienced, pretty advanced in that, and I could see the kind of the clients he'd worked with and the business he has, and I was like, right, a little sneaky undercover mission. I was like, I want to work with him, find out how his business works, how he treats his clients.
He's not going to watch this, is he?
So he might do. He's my mate. He's all right.
All right.
So that was my kind of approach, and I was like, right, I'm just ready to do whatever he says, just to test out his methods.
Yeah,
and see what happens.
And I mean, let's say, most coaches have a coach. Like Luke will have a coach. Like Luke's like in great shape. He always has a coach when he's had a coach for years. Do you know what I mean? Like Matty, I know he's went through different coaches as well. I've had different generally my coaches are my coaches. So it's either been Joe or Dan or something like that. They're currently Josh. So I mean, like what are the biggest things you've learned from that then? Obviously, do you agree with everything as well? Like where obviously you went so low calories where you did that? Like, yeah, just your opinion on it all, really.
So I was just I just wanted to sit, like, as I say, like take someone's advice who's been in the game a long time, you know?
Yeah.
So I was quite happy to go that low at 1400 and go that deep because I trusted what he was saying.
Yeah.
So because he had the experience.
You've got to, if you're getting coaches from me, you've got to go all in.
Experience, like you see, everyone's got a coach, mate. Usain Bolt, fastest runner in the world, mate. He had a coach.
Yeah.
So you take their advice. So that was my approach, and I was like, right, if he's telling me to do that, let's do it. 16 weeks, let's just trial it.
Would you coach a client, obviously learning from that, and you are going to take a lot away from it? Like, do you think you would coach a client like in the same way, or have you found like some mistakes within your own cut of like, actually I'd take a different approach?
Yeah, so a lot of the things that I got advised, I would have done myself anyway. I was like, right, okay, I probably would have done that. It was more the fact of like, right, we're going to change calories now. We're going to increase cardio now. That was a good key point for us, because you're not quite sure sometimes, am I doing enough? Are the steps in the right place? Am I in enough deficit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to take that on board was like, right, Anth, week 8 or whatever, right, we're going to change this now because we haven't seen the fat loss has stalled. So now it's time to change.
Right.
So that was good. I took that on board. That was good to learn. So
what could you fit in 1400 calories? Please inform us, because that I'm dying just hearing that.
Right, 1400 calories, right, was, I think I had 6 eggs on a morning, a bowl of raspberries. Love raspberries.
6 egg whites or just eggs?
Whole eggs.
Okay.
I was just banging the 6 eggs in. Then I would have I think it was 150 grams of chicken breast.
Right.
Pure bodybuilder style this.
Yeah. Needs must though. That's the thing.
Tender stem broccoli, I think it was 100 grams of that. Then I would have a pre-workout meal. Oats come all the way down to like 50 grams, I think.
Right.
Oats, blueberries, raspberries, peanut butter, that sort of jazz. Then the last meal was a beef meal, so I would either make my own burgers or some kind of bit of beef and rice, veg, plain stuff. Obviously, a bit of seasoning and that and sauce, but it was the basic food plan. But I feel like it worked. What my coach said, he was like, the consistency of the same foods and basic foods, then you can track it properly and you can manage it better.
Yep.
So I just locked in. I was like, right, that's what we're having. So let's just continue with that.
Yeah, when you've got that consistency of the same foods, it's like, I don't know if you've seen enough of our content where it's like, right, fine, 3 breakfast, 3 lunch, 3 dinners, just fucking repeat. That's it. You save them into your app, and then it's so easy. Then that stops the friction on the app, like of tracking the food. So yeah, I totally agree with you. But that sounds more than 1400 calories, to be fair, unless it's just packed out.
Well, I think whatever the measurements were exactly off the top of my head, but everything was. I would get the screenshot of, right, that's what's in. So many grams of this, that, and 12.
Right, okay,
yeah. So I would just be like, right, well, that's what we're having.
So it was just a direct meal plan rather than actually this is the calories in, but roughly there.
It was direct, even to the point where it was like, right, Anth, I'm going to have to let's drop some carbs out, and you just, right, I'm gonna have to take your banana off you, right, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's how deep you have to be, like, when you want to get that lean.
Would you do it, if you were to do it again, would you do it any differently then?
I'd have a similar approach, but as you say, 1400 was quite low, right? Especially working offshore. Now
Working, yeah, that's the thing.
If people are working 12-hour shifts and all that, you need the energy, so you need the food higher. So I would look at saying, keep the food as high as you can to a degree, right? And increase your output, so your cardio steps would have to go up.
Yeah.
Try it that way. Try and keep as much food in as you can. Obviously, keep full as well, keep more muscle.
Satiation, isn't it, as well, like a factor. So what were your steps like then? With how what did you have, like a set target for that? And yeah,
so we started off 10k to the magic 10k number, and it's just easy to start there, isn't it? Then we went, I think, finished off around like, well, as many as you can by the end of it, but we added like 1,000 steps every couple of weeks. So I think I got up to like 15,000 steps or something a day, roughly like that.
Well, that's not bad.
It's doable.
Yeah, it is. It's doable.
So that's what I would say about keeping the food higher, and then I would dial in more on the steps.
Yeah. Because like obviously my approach at this moment in time for me, like I'm on 2,300 calories. It should be around the 15,000 step mark, but that's from the start. So it's like boom, start. Do you know what I mean? So even though you've done it, like you've gradually increased your steps, but like obviously you lowered your calories. It's the same as like what I've sort of done going throughout. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like the energy balance is, I think what my deficit's been in, I think it's been in about a 700 per day type deficit of what it is from the calories type thing, because of obviously the higher steps, but I haven't been actually hitting me steps. And this is one of the things I've been thinking about lately. I want your opinion on it, actually. So it's like we're setting ourselves up for failure in a sense. And like I feel as though I'm doing that sort of with my barbell clients in any way. Like when they do a shred, because I'll always say 15,000 steps. And in my head, like all the time, by the way, when we get out at the end of the shred, I say, right, the very first thing what's going to drop is your steps. So we've got to keep on the same foods until we balance it out a bit. None of them do. I'll say you can have that Saturday night off after the shoot, but we've got to get back on it. And yeah, that tracking doesn't go in for the next week. No one ever listens, and yeah, the steps do shoot down. Obviously, the calories go way up, and they do balloon back up that bit too fast for what we like. So from my end, it's like I've been thinking about. It's like, shit. Have I actually been setting them up for failure? Because I know at the end of this shred for me, I'm not going to keep up with the 15,000 steps. I know my nutrition will be good and all the rest of it, but yeah, give us a bit of a take on if we are setting ourselves up for failure in a sense.
By
upping the steps too much.
Aye. I would say like you say, you didn't want to scare them off, right, and get them and overwhelm them with too much. Uh-huh. Like the thought of 15,000 steps is like quite daunting. So I think that's why I started off at 10 and worked up. So the gradual increase was good. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't like overwhelmed straight up. So I right, bang, and get that done. So it was nice that it was gradual. So maybe that was a good way that he did it.
I think because of the timing we do our say shreds, we only give them a 12-week window. You had a 16-week window, but then again from a 16-week window of like dieting, it's a fucking long time, and it's like you're constantly having to think about it. That's why I like to do it in short stints, and I always think like people only have one good diet in them a year on that front. But yeah, it's just a bit of a thought I've been thinking about recently of just... That's where my head's at with it all at the minute. And I think I'm going to go back to the clients with my thoughts of it actually as well.
Well, as you say, like it depends how long they've got, the duration. Mm-hmm. But someone, if they're going on a cut, right, they need to be in the mindset of like, right, whatever needs done, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, 15,000 is too much. Like, no, that's not what you signed up for. You signed up to get in the best shape possible, so this is what you need to do.
Yeah. At the end of the diet, how should they feel? Because Coach Dan said they should feel at the end of the 12 weeks that they do not want to go into another one straight away. If they've done it properly, then they should fucking not want to do it straight away. But we get people who like say, I'm ready to do another one.
Right then. I would agree with Coach Dan.
Yeah.
Because if you have done it, then you should be hungry, you're going to be tired, you're exhausted, you've done all that training. Your body just needs refueling, so there's no way, if you've done it properly, you could do another one.
I'm looking forward to the end of mine. I know I could have actually pushed harder, to be fair, but it wasn't really my goal of being like angry cockline. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be that. It was just like in good shape, and basically, fucking, I'm totally honest about like the content marketing side of things, just to say, hey, look, I'm 40. If I can do it, you can do it, type thing. 100%. And I've quite lived the balanced life along there with that. Let's have a look at this. So how would you get someone into a good mindset, not just to start the journey, but like to see it through for the person they want to become? I know you're like big on your mindset stuff, so it was like, yeah, how do you get them into a good mindset, not just to start, but then like continue it through and like get them through it all?
Good question. So the mindset's like massive for me. Like I'll just try and just keep prompting clients, get like, if you stop now, all this was a waste of time and you're going to go back to where you were. Like if you weren't happy where you were and you've signed up to be better, why would you stop? Why are we going to stop now?
Yeah.
Just try and just keep chipping away, keep banging away. Every day I say the same stuff. Get like it's your cardio, your steps, your training. If you want to be better, about not giving up.
Yeah.
And just be like, how is it going to benefit when you do see it through, right? Is it going to benefit like your personal life, your relationship with your kids, with your partners? If you're trying to grow a business, how will it affect that? So it's like the journey, like it doesn't stop, it just keeps continuing. So didn't ever give up is what I would just try and just keep pounding away. Didn't give up.
How do we get them not to give up? That's the thing. It's like we can see it all the time in the world. Like we've even got in our forms like why are you doing this, and are we allowed to tell you this when you tell me you quit? So Sarah will send them the sentence of what they've said, and they'll still even quit after that, and they'll get quite deep. Like, want to be naked in front of my partner. Like, I feel absolutely shit. Like, role model for my kids, all the rest of it. And we send them that back, and they're still like, yeah, it's not for.
Aye. you do get that, but then it's you maybe question like the why for starting in the first place. Or they just feel like having a go at it now, but they're not really committed yet.
Yeah,
that's maybe it. Maybe financially, but they don't want to say, "Oh, I can't really afford it," so they just come up with excuses to drop out.
Do you know what it is? They generally will use that excuse, so if they can't afford it, that's generally the first one in anyway. But then they still stop. Because even though we've given them the tools and techniques to track the food, eyeball the food, all the rest of it, the teachings in there, told them to get the steps, they can still do all that. But then they don't. Mm-hmm. It's like they've got those tools in place. They've got a Fitbit. They've invested in a watch. Do you know what I mean? They've still got those tools, but then they still didn't do it.
Aye. Yeah. I don't know.
Get into the mindset of that person, will you?
Okay, just come here, just do it. I don't know, it's a tricky one. Like I say, they need to be fully invested. You need to want to better yourself, or why are you starting? Continue it, you know what I mean? Don't give up.
It's the finding of the why, isn't it? But then it's been making that why the forefront of their head. Like they've got to be ready. Like and it's such a shame, because even though you're like, I mean, you're going to see like quite a few people come through our doors, like. There'll be all systems go for the first month, and then next month just dip a bit, third month, and then even though like they said they were going to be ready.
I think people lose sight of the goals, lose sight of why they started. They get distracted, don't they?
Yeah.
So then they might have, such and such has got a wedding come up. So they're going out have a weekend, right, on the drink. Mindset shot now. So that Monday after that weekend, they're not the same person they were the week before, because the drink and that has now disrupted their thoughts.
Yeah. Do you drink much or?
Now I like a good drink now and again. I mean, you'll see on the social, I pop out for a pint and that with my mates and stuff. So I think it's healthy to promote that type of stuff. You need to be social as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't like the training shouldn't take over your life. It needs to be part of it. But you still need to be able to enjoy a pint and that, don't you?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like I never ever demonize alcohol or anything like that, and it's like the social aspect of what you get from having a pint with your lass. Do you know what I mean? It's like just that nice chill out, safe at the beach or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Nice pint on the seafront, happy days. Like it's those little moments in times where it's like, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Even on that cut, mate, I would look for. We had a Sunday where we would nip down the beach, right? Have a pint, some Sunday dinner and that, and then pop in that ice cream place, get a massive ice cream. Even on the cut, I was like, I'm not giving up this, just a little bit on a Sunday. So you just need to implement it properly. Like you say, bank your calories during the week.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Just be smart about it.
You ain't banking much from 1,400 though, are you?
No.
So yesterday I got pissed off. I had 3 sales calls booked in and 3 of them didn't answer. And then I started making a bit of a ranty video to myself of like look, or if you're only ever one phone call away from actually changing your life. Obviously, this goes back to like how can you get the mindset of following it through, and because we've got people who signed up, say, a year ago who's changed their lives, and it's like if they didn't answer the phone a year ago, like they wouldn't be who they were today, like doing all the events with us, losing 40 pounds. And it was too ranty. Do you know what I mean? I think I was just more pissed off at people not answering the phone. But it's like these people here, like that mindset of just actually starting to actually following it through. It's like we've got to try and project like what their life is going to be like in a year, but then try and keep them on that track of getting to that life, which is hard enough because people can't say past next week. But yeah, it was just a fucking thought of like, we can do all of these things. It's like you've met Deb. I mean, I don't know if you know her backstory, but she's been with us like 6 years or something now. She has completely changed her life. And like some people, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh no, I totally agree. Did you post it, that video? Did you put it up?
No, I haven't posted it. No, I ended up deleting it. No, because it was I'll tell you what, it was gonna go on the RT page. Right. Like I ended up making something else of like where it was like we've got our 90-day thing starting Monday. Someone lost this much, someone lost this much, someone. I went in a different direction, a more softer approach for it. So yeah, I didn't do the ranty one, and it's gone now.
Gone, is it? I would have put that up because I know exactly what you mean. And sometimes them ranty ones are the best ones.
They are the truth, innit?
Exactly, because it's the truth, and it's something that's just happened. It's fresh, and it's like, right, they're getting it now. Like, just get them it, both barrels.
Yeah. But I am trying to help. I suppose it's like I'm trying to like get them in first and then show them, because I do get ranty in person with them all. But yeah. Right, let's get back to your questions then. Oh, is this? Yeah, these are yours. I'm going to give you an example of a person here. And I want you to like say how you would help them. So this is a pretendy person, okay? So Dave, he's 36. He's a dad of 2. Quite busy life, but can make the time to train. He's done bits in the past, loves a beer, has never had abs. He's easily 3 stone to lose, but wants an athletic-looking physique. Hasn't got a clue where to start. I can relay this back to you. And how long it's going to take. What would you say to this person here?
That's what I say to Dave.
What would you say to Dave?
I'd be like, look, Dave. First of all, I'd be like, right, when can you get in the gym? And how long? Because if you've got kids and that and graft, like I can totally relate to that. Because we've done it. I mean, you've done it.
Yeah.
So you like find that time. Where can you find the time to get in the gym? Right, that's a starting point. You need to get in the gym, even if your diet is not as good yet. You need that stimulus. You need the training to then progress. Right. then I'll be saying, let's look at your diet. If you're trying to lose weight, we need to find your maintenance calories and then get you in a deficit, right? Let's just clean it up. But initially, let's start getting in the gym once, twice a week, right? We need to like just baby steps. Let's start the journey off, right? No, don't overwhelm them. Let's just start. As for getting abs and stuff, like, and the duration.
I mean, he didn't say he wanted abs. He's just said he's never had abs, but he's easily got 3 stone to lose, but wants an athletic-looking physique.
Mm-hmm. Athletic-looking physique.
He's 3 stone overweight, though.
So I wouldn't like to give people a time frame. You just need to say, like, look, there's work to be done, and let's just keep chipping away week on week, month on month. You could give them a rough time frame, but, like, you don't want to give someone a false estimate, you know what I mean? So they're like, oh, in 3 months' time, I'm going to be looking like this. And
would you give them that? But then would you give them a sort of time frame? Because recently I did one with somebody where they said they wanted to be somewhere like in the 12 weeks. I think they wanted to just jump straight onto the shred part, not even do the barbell. I says, look, no, I've got to be working with you at least a little bit before that. And if you want to look like X, it's going to take at least 8 months.
Aye. So when you put it that way, you've got to give them real expectations, haven't you?
Yeah.
But if someone is, you know, looking half decent and like they want to look like that in 16 weeks, like I did, you could say, well, right, that's maybe is achievable.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be like, use your initiative and have a look and say, right, that could work, or it's going to take longer.
Yeah.
As for training, basic exercises that Dave would enjoy. Didn't be giving them any raj, you know, too funky stuff. Just the basics work. Start small, start basic, and over a period of time, you'll see the results.
Would you get him to try through from the beginning, stuff like that, or was it? Would it just be like, right, we're just going to get in the gym 1-2 days a week to start with?
Aye. So I think tracking the food definitely important, but for someone who hasn't done it and is just trying to start training again, you don't want to overwhelm them. So you might say the first 2 weeks, just get in the gym. Then third, fourth week, we're going to say, right, now we'll look at your food. Give them a rough meal plan or some calories and macros and say, right, and maybe educate them, this is how you track. But you maybe off giving them a specific plan so he doesn't have to track it and just say, right, look, that's all you need to have this week.
Yeah.
Simplify it as much as you can.
But yeah, it is. It's trying to simplify it. I think with people like this, it's mint answers, by the way. It's hard. I think it's hard from a coach to slowly build people in to that longevity of like, right, week 1, we're just going to do 2 sessions. Week 2, we're just going to do 2 sessions. Week 3, we're going to do 3 sessions, and I'm going to show you a little bit about macros or something like that. Week 4, week 5, like that is actually that is the perfect way to do it. To say if you had a year, if you knew, actually this is the thing, if you knew you had them for a year, you could program that in. I think that's the difference, but it's trying to get somebody to be able to do it that slow, adding little bits in over time, and they're like, well, what the fuck's happening?
Exactly. So you said that there, and I've just thought of something. So imagine, you know, when you're starting to drive, right? You learn to do your driving test.
Yeah.
If you've done your first lesson, the driving instructor was like, right, we're going to do 3-point turn here, right? We're going to hill stop, we're going to handbrake turn, we're going to do everything.
Yeah.
Right now, you'll be like, well, I can't do that.
Where's the kit? I haven't started yet.
Do you know what I mean? So you'd be like, that's why you would just do it step by step, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. It is step by. It is. I suppose, like, I think I said to Alex before, it was like, am I overwhelming some of our clients? But it's not the not wanting to overwhelm them. It's like, I want to show them the truth of, like, calories in, calories out, steps, like, just like, these are the basic. I mean, our basic fundamentals is always training minimum times 3 per week, track your food, 10,000 steps. On paper, it sounds like so easy, but in reality, it is quite overwhelming for Nora, who's done Slimming World for 20 years. Well, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, blah, 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 for 20 years, you know what I mean?
Aye, I know what you mean. It's frustrating because you've got the experience, right? I think it comes down to experience. You've been there and you know that if I do this, that, and t'other, then that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Someone who hasn't done it, that's overwhelming, they're confused. I always try and relate to, like, if I've got a client, right, I'll try and relate the fitness world to their job. So I'll be like, if one of them was a nurse, I think she's trained to be a nurse. I was like, so to become a nurse, you need to do these steps, you need to go into uni, you need to study, you need to do this, that, and t'other. So I'll say, right, you need to do these steps, that's, you're going to uni.
Yeah, just turning up, yeah.
Just to try and, like, relate it to what she's used to.
The studying, it'd be like a nutrition and then
different variables that she does for her job or studying or whatever. Try and say, right, so when you go into the gym, that's you're going to study. Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. I might steal all those. Like, I think, that's all I had for you, buddy. So, what's your Instagrams and stuff like that? Obviously, you're after some one-to-ones, onlines. Yeah, go for it. I'll put all the stuff below
so
the links.
I've just started the Barbell Club, so Anth Stubbs coaching.
Yeah.
Any one-to-ones, jump on there on Instagram. Online coaching, same Insta. We'll just drop us a message.
Just drop us a DM.
A little sneaky DM. We'll have a big crack and let's get you sorted.
Sweet, perfect. Thank you very much, buddy. Get round these mics.